No mute. Hi everyone, we're live, but we got 4 minutes.
So when you're holding stuff, are you?
I want people to know.
Oh, I thought you said we got 4 minutes.
Yeah, I said we're live. We got 4 minutes.
Oh, I thought it wasn't being recorded.
We have less than 2 minutes. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining in. We have a couple minutes yet. I hope I have a topic to talk about. Good morning. I am Michael, and this is a meditation class. I'm going to be talking to you about chakras or energy centers. So, I'm assuming, since you're on this site, everyone knows what the energy centers are. There's 7 major ones in the body. There's an 8th one from 16 inches to 50 feet above the head. That's also a major center. It's known as the Ka, or the I Am, but we're going to start with the lower 3 centers. I'm going to show you a chart that has the 7 major ones. You can see them easily. You can see in the background a person sitting down, kind of like I am. So this first one down here is known as the root chakra. This is a sacral chakra. This is the solar plexus chakra. These 3 have to do with your physical body. Okay? This guy is the bridge, the heart, and these 3 above it are the really fun ones. And a lot of us accentuate the top 3, even the 4th one and up. But these 3 have to be in balance. If they're not in balance, you are physically uncomfortable, probably. Not necessarily all the time. But the first center has to do with some basic needs. Like if you've ever studied business or psychology, Maslow was a psychologist, and I never knew that until after I graduated. We just thought he was part of business, and he came up with this stuff. But Maslow, what were the 3 basic needs? Food, shelter, clothing. That's your first center, your root center, which is located in the coccyx, okay? In that area, the perineum. And all of us have a need for those 3, right? That one's pretty basic. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you have money issues, you're going to have a concern, and that's going to be out of balance there, okay? Even if you're a millionaire and you have money issues, like, oh, I hope I can save it or hold on to it, it's going to show up not only in the first center, but it will show up in the first center. The second center is about community. And as far as the first 2 centers go, as a by the way, for those of you who are, well, whether you're aware of this or not, the first 2 centers, depending on what author you read or what book you've been exposed to, some authors will say the first center does this and the second center does this, and other authors will switch that totally around. When I am working with my first 2 energy centers, I pretty much combine them. I try to keep the labels off of them so that I don't have to get confused by the label. Because you are not your label. You are not your hairstyle, your face, your job, your income, and whatnot. And it's the same thing with these energy centers. But the second energy center has to do with community and security as a result. The third energy center is where you come into your own power. This has a lot to do with personality and ego. Okay? So if your self-image or your self-confidence is not quite where it should be, the third energy center plays a role in that. It starts getting interesting as you move up from there into the 4th energy center. There's 3 lower and there's 3 upper, and the one in between, the 4th one, is the heart center. And we all need to connect to the heart center. Overall, there is in each center a brain, an entire nervous system, and an endocrine system. They are each independent, making their own decisions. And by the way, this is not yoga lore. this is science at this point. The heart is really very interesting because this is where you qualify the energy that comes up from the root chakra, the first energy center, which is very, very powerful. And you now qualify it with either compassion or love or care or appreciation or gratitude, joy, peace, happiness, exuberance, anything that's above the line. And everything I'm telling you right now, some of you have heard this before, everything I'm telling you right now is entering your heart brain, your heart center first. And your heart center informs the brain in your head. Okay? So this guy here, the heart mind, has to be your primary, if you will. It needs to be where everything within you comes from. All your decisions come from your heart. All your choices come from your heart. Yes or no comes from your heart. Except you don't do that, do you? You come from here, the head. And we got to learn, we got to relearn to come from here. Once this is ignited, we know from research, it moves up, it travels up. We already know, even before it's ignited and coherent, that there are 5 pathways from the heart to the brain. And they work in both directions. But 90% of the information travels from the heart to the brain, not vice versa. It's called afferent, or upwards. When you get to the throat, for those of you who don't know how to speak your truth, this guy needs to be worked. For those of you who already do, this guy is pretty strong. Now, notice I mentioned when you speak your truth. It doesn't mean it's truth with a capital T. It's your truth. And your truth is going to change as all these centers become and stay aligned throughout your lifetime. And if they get out of alignment, your truth is going to change. It's going to probably drop. If you get into alignment, your truth is going to raise. So, with what's going on in today's environment, we have a lot of different beliefs of what's going on, what's the cause of it, what do we got to do, we got to take all these precautions, or this is ridiculous, we got to take all these precautions, or wherever you are on this scale has to do with what your belief system is, and what your belief system is dependent on how you think and feel when you go right back to the beginning part of it. But how you think and feel determines the alignment or misalignment of your energy centers. I could also say the alignment or misalignment of your energy centers determines how you think and feel. It's kind of like the communicative and associative properties in math. Okay? It works both ways. If you've heard me teach yoga before, you've heard me say your physical body is your emotional body, and your emotional body is your physical body. So, if you want to work your emotions, you can actually work your emotional body, or you can work your physical body. You're going to have an effect on the same. When you move from here, your throat chakra, and by the way, there's a gland in every single one, if not multiple glands in every single energy center. You go up to what we call the third eye. Now, the third eye is not here. Indians from India will put a bindi here, denoting this is where the third eye is. But it's really not. It's way in the back of the head. I'm not on the top of my head. I'm way in the back of the head. About here, top of the throat, way back. And where these two intersect, way in the back, that's where your third eye is. That's where your sixth chakra or energy center is. That is where your pineal gland is located. And your pineal gland is very important in your whole being, balancing your whole self. The crown chakra, a lot of times is associated with the pituitary. I'm not so sure about that because the pituitary is actually lower than the pineal gland in the brain. But it is the top, the crown chakra. And up above that, 16 inches and up is another energy center. And that's the energy center you use to connect with the divine, if you will. Source. So, why is this important? When you meditate, you want to align. You want to come into coherence. You want to get yourself feeling good. When you start to feel good, you start to align things. When you stop thinking and you start letting go, you start to become, or you start to move into alignment. And that's one of the objectives of your meditation practice. As you move up the spine, you turn on one energy center, and you turn on the next one, and you turn on the next one, and each previous one raises up, sends energy upwards to the next one. So for instance, your first or root energy center is very powerful. It's creative. So you have all felt the energy when you're turned on by someone else ignite in that center. And you've all been very, very excited in that center. Have you ever felt that same excitement in your heart, or in your third center, or in your throat, or in your third eye? Have you ever been able to get the energy that's in the root to move up instead of just to expel outwardly? One of the things that you're going to want to play with is taking the energy from the first center and starting to move it up and move it up. Get it to that heart. A lot of people are closed here, not even knowing it. Okay, so if you don't feel explosions in the heart, that's okay. This is a practice. This will take perhaps months, or it may take a moment for you to open this up. Okay? When I meditate, I will, depending on which meditation I'm doing, but if I'm doing a meditation called Blessing of the Energy Centers, and we start at the root, and we go to the second, and then the third, and the fourth, and we go methodically all the way up to the eighth. When I'm in my space, I'm in my zone, I can turn this on, and I can bring it up, and I can feel my entire body buzzing. And I've mentioned this to you before in one of the previous meditations, that you literally create a field of energy that becomes a torus, known as a torus field. And it moves up from the root all the way through the crown to the eighth center and falls or spills outwardly down to the ground, where you pull it back up again. You take not only the energy you've just disseminated, but you're still building energy in the first center, and you keep moving it up. And you create this field that you can literally feel. And if this is, you've all felt this, I guarantee you, you've felt this, maybe not in meditation, but you've all felt this at one point in your life, doing something where you thought of something and you got chills running up and down your spine, where you recalled a memory and you also felt the feeling associated with that memory, and therefore you felt tingling, and the hairs on your arms stood up. You've done this thousands of times in your life. Now I'm asking you to do it consciously. So, that's harder. I can just do it when it just happens. Yeah, all of us can do that. Big deal. Now you want to start to control it. You want to turn it on, and then you want to turn it on not only in meditation, but while you're out there doing whatever you're doing. So as many of you know, I do a walking meditation on Sunday mornings. We start, there's a group of us who do it at 6:15, and we do it for 1 hour to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on which meditation we're listening to. It's called a walking meditation. And our job is to stay focused within even while we're walking and we're looking with our eyes outside of us. And we may see some beautiful things as we're walking, and if we allow ourselves, we get carried away with what's outside. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but our purpose doing a walking meditation is to stay connected, still see what's out there. And the beauty of it is magnified because a lot of the energy is flowing. We're not just totally taking our energy going and seeing that beautiful bird. We're staying within, seeing that bird. And it's even more than it was before. So, you guys ready? Shall we do a meditation? Get yourself comfortable. Reposition if you need to. Close your eyes. Sit up tall. If you're in a chair, do not lean against the back of that chair. Come forward on the chair. Scooch forward. If you're on the floor, use a bolster. Let your knees come lower than your hips, so your lower back comes forward and you'll be able to maintain a better posture for a longer period of time. Eyes are closed. You begin to breathe through your nose. And you're aware. You're aware of breathing through your nose. Start to lengthen your breath. Longer inhale, longer exhale, keeping your chest lifted up, shoulders back, ears above the shoulders. Begin to focus in. And bring your entire focus, all your attention to your root energy center, the perineum. As you keep your focus there, if this is new to you, stop thinking, feel what you feel. Feel that root center. Well, I don't feel anything. Stay there. Keep feeling. Stay focused right in that small center. Can you start to feel it? If you're already feeling it, can you turn it up? You don't try, you just stay more focused. Feel the energy. It can take many different forms. It can be a vibration, a low humming, if you will. Now, move upwards to the second center. If if you can feel where your navel is, it's just below your navel. Focus in here. Stay right there. Perhaps breathe in and out of that area. Keeping the first one ignited, but now focusing in on the second. What is it that you feel? And again, you do not think about it, just feel what you feel and notice it, observe it. Keep breathing through the nose. Stay centered in that second energy center. Now, let's move up to the third energy center, solar plexus area. That's right below the rib cage in the center of your torso. Bring your full attention right there. Breathe in and out. Wrap your mind around this. This is your ego center. Personality. There might be resistance. That is a feeling. Feel that. You may feel harmony. Feel that. Even once you feel it, stay there and bathe yourself in the center. Feel the energy move. Now open up your heart. Bring your attention right to that heart center. Feel the vibration. Stay there. Allow yourself to feel any of the feelings associated with the heart. Compassion, love, gratitude, appreciation, joy, peace. Stay there, bathe in this. Do not doubt. Remain open. Bring your heart into coherence. Feel the feelings I've mentioned. Feel uplifted. Feel the way you always would like to feel. Guide yourself there and stay there. It's only a matter of practice to train yourself. Now let's move up into the fifth energy center, the throat chakra. Moving your attention up to that area. And notice what you feel. Perhaps you feel a buzzing or a tingling. It might be strong, it might be subtle. Become aware of all these different sensations. You're playing, you're getting to know your etheric body, your energy body, your emotional body, and as a result, your physical body. Feel that sensation all around your neck, inside and outside. Now let's float upwards, moving up to the sixth energy center, called the third eye, at the back of the head. Bring your attention there, perhaps an area you've never focused on before. Begin to observe. As the thoughts kick in, let it go. Go back to observing and feeling. You can, with practice, light this up. Keep going. Stay right there. This energy center is the one where I sometimes tell you to beam outwardly from. So, taking the energy and moved up from the roots all the way up. Hit your heart and you qualified it with compassion or love or appreciation. Now you've moved it up into that third eye. Start to beam it outwardly and affect the planet. Send it to friends. Send it to family. From right where you are. Touch someone else energetically. You may even feel that area right between the eyebrows light up as it moves from the back of the head straight out. Now, moving from your sixth center, coming up right to the crown of the head, rest your attention right there, focusing in. Opening your awareness to the top of your skull, you may feel some tingling. You may feel it in other areas also. Keep your focus at the crown. Now we're going to move up from there to your eighth center, or to the eighth center. It's above your head, more than a foot above your head. This is where it may get strange for some of you, thinking that your energy is out there. Well, it is. The energy cannot be contained by the physical body. So, bring your awareness up even higher, above the head. And see if you notice anything. Perhaps you notice like a feeling or by a tingling, leaving the crown, moving upwards. Connect with that and continue up. This may be very, very subtle, almost unnoticeable for some of you, and for others, It is buzzing. Now come back into your physical body. Have an awareness that you are sitting where you are. The body is breathing. Start to feel the body sitting in the chair, sitting on the floor. Take a deeper breath in. Feel the chest and the belly expand. Softly and slowly let it out. Opening your eyes, coming back into the world of senses. And thank you for joining me. It's supposed to be partly sunny today. So go out and take a walk and work in your gardens. Thank you. Namaste.